My wife drugs our teenage son. My son, as mid-teens, didn't want to include his age just for anonymity. Anyways, another thing to preface this, my wife and I are in the process of separating, so I'll still refer to her as my wife, but I am currently dating someone who I refer to as my girlfriend. Basically, about 5 years ago, my wife cheated on me, and I was no longer in love with her, but I wanted to let my kids have at least a somewhat normal life, so we agreed to stay together for their sake. We haven't cheated in the same bed in 3 years, and we have not had sex for almost a year. Everything I do is for my kids. I love them with my heart and soul. My wife dates her boyfriend, who is the same person she cheated on me with. We have the kids' visitation all figured out for the most part. They stay with me during the week because I still live in their school district and they see their mom on the weekends. There's no animosity between their mother and I, or at least not before this. My daughter isn't fond of her mother because she knows she cheated on me, so a lot of the time she just stays with me and lets her brother go and visit. For about 3 months now, I've noticed that my son is always really tired and lethargic when he comes home from his mom's house, which I thought at first was maybe just some emotional flack, and he assured me it wasn't and that he was fine. My girlfriend started trying to help him eat better and other stuff to help improve his mental because we thought maybe the separation was stressing him out, so I tried getting him to go to therapy and he expressed nothing was wrong again and again. His younger sister always seems to be able to tell me what they did and how it was, but when I ask him, he just kind of tells me, yeah, it was fine, or he would say, I don't remember. I thought, okay, this is just normal teenager stuff. He doesn't want to talk to his dad, but my girlfriend insisted it was something more. She said maybe he was on drugs. I know my son, and I told her. Absolutely not. Guess I was wrong. This past weekend, they got back from their moms, and as usual, he was tired and sleepy and went straight to his bedroom. A few minutes later, my daughter came up to me and told me she had seen something bad, and she didn't know if she was supposed to say it. She said she saw my wife crush up pills and put them in a drink that she then gave to my son. I initially dismissed this and told her that's ridiculous and warned her not to make up lies, but I've never known her as a liar or joker. She got really serious and said, see, I didn't even want to say anything. I know you wouldn't believe me. Then I asked her exactly what happened and she told me. I'm just so confused. She told me this isn't the first time she saw my wife do this, but the first time she told her it was because my son was sick, so she never mentioned it again. I started piecing 2 and 2 together and realized she was telling the honest truth, but that made me even more confused. What is my wife giving him pills for? My son isn't like an energetic kid or hard to deal with or anything like that. He's a well-behaved, well-mannered, quiet boy. On top of that, I wanted to know what kind of pills, and I started getting really angry. I drove almost an hour away to her house to confront her. She called me crazy and denied any wrongdoing. The trip was useless. I got back and I asked my son when he woke up about it. He said he never really remembered going to his mom's house, but he thought he was crazy or just had a bad memory. He says his mother used to just give him pills, but eventually just stopped. But he always noticed he would get drowsy even after she stopped giving him the pills. He just cried and hugged me and said, make her stop. I'm really upset about this, and I don't know what to do. Is there anything legal I can do about this? I feel like this is way too weird and too far. What purpose do you guys think she could have for drugging an innocent teenager more over her? Son, I feel like I failed him as a dad for not realizing earlier something was really wrong. What can I do about this situation on all fronts? I want to get to the bottom of it because I obviously don't have the full story, but he doesn't really know, and my wife is denying it. My girlfriend says that we should absolutely get the police involved, but I don't know if I want to do that to the kids. Advice? The day all of this unfolded, I took my son to UC to get his blood work done. They did that, a urinalysis and a mouth swab. The urinalysis yielded signs of a non-soluble benzo, which he said was most likely Xanax or Klonopin, but to see exactly what we would have to wait for the blood test results. As soon as I really got a chance to collect my thoughts, I realized I had made a huge mistake by going and confronting my wife about this, because now she knew that I know she's prescribed Xanax, so I had my link in a strong case. User on here actually forwarded me some information on resources as far as a lawyer and some other after-crisis stuff for my son in my area, which I very much appreciate. Since that first week, I've met with multiple lawyers and I'm working with my divorce lawyer to finally finalize our separation. I'm extremely disgusted with her, and I'm still in shock. As far as the big question of why I was finally able to get my son to open up a bit, he told me that when my wife first moved out of the house about a year or so ago, he immediately butted heads with her boyfriend. They just didn't get along, and he feels like he treated him unfairly. My wife just let this happen, apparently. My son says that on multiple occasions he heard him, he never specified what exactly happened, but that's how he worded it, and my son is only 13, so for him to even be saying something like that, that's just very concerning. He says he didn't tell me because he didn't want me to be disappointed in him. Confusing because I don't yell at my kids or even really ever get mad or upset, and I'm always encouraging to them. Again, he was very vague in describing what hurt meant, and I didn't want to cry as he was obviously very uncomfortable. My heart hurts so bad for my son, and I just feel so stupid because I feel like I should have known this all. He's such a good, sweet boy. He doesn't deserve any of this. I found this out towards the end of last week. It has taken everything in me not to go beat this dude up, but I really want to. I haven't spoken to either my wife or him since last week when I let her know that I know what's been going on and that basically legal matters would follow. She has called me a few times, but I just can't talk to her. I'm just so beat down by this crap. I chose to start a family with this evil person, and I just feel like I can't help but feel like she's a complete stranger. I've told my parents and her parents what happened, and they are very apologetic and have been working to try and get information from her, but she hasn't been helpful to them either. I don't want to make excuses for her, but I can't help but feel like it's just all somehow connected to him. I'm sure more will unravel from the situation, but for now, this pretty much covers everything that's happened since then. As far as the legal stuff, everyone's just told me these things take some time, especially when there's a kid involved. My son's doing fine, and he will be doing therapy and stuff in the near future, waiting for his time to free up more with school. Rest of the family is great. Thanks for all of your well wishes, support, and advice, guys.